Hi there, Dr. Sue, your expert in healing conflictual family relationships. Today I'm going to talk to you about Oprah's podcast on estrangement, as many parents and adult children have reached out to me to ask me what my opinion is. Let me begin by saying I do think Oprah did a good thing here, just by bringing to light that estrangement in families is going on so much nowadays. I think calling it a trend was not the best way to go about this, but it definitely brought viewers to the podcast because 3.6 million people watch this. But that doesn't tell me it's a trend. What it tells me is that there's a lot of families out there that are suffering from estrangement and do not know what to do. I think they did a nice job of showing the parents' side and also some of the adult children that are going through this. And I think that's helpful because every single person is in pain over this. What I think was lacking here, and I'm going to go through it because I think that's important as well, is that there was not enough focus on how to help people that are going through this, how to reconnect parents and children, adult children specifically, that have been going through this. I think they touched on that a little bit at the end where one of the doctors, I think it was Dr. Gibson, talked about self-acceptance, and Nedra talked about owning your part in all of this. And those are all important things, but how do you do that? How do you get there? That wasn't talked about enough. And I think in terms of self-reflection, I do think both parties have to do self-reflection. But I also think what was lacking and what we were talking about here is the term accountability. I also think what wasn't brought up enough is the term accountability. You can do all the reflection that you want in the world, but if you're then not taking the next step and taking accountability for actions that were hurtful, then nothing is going to take place here. This isn't a trend, everybody. It's been going on for a long, long time. I remember growing up as a child, one of my father's friends had a daughter who he was estranged from. This was over 35 years ago. That was repaired later on through my father's friend going to some kind of therapy, recognizing they had to take accountability for leaving her mother and starting up a relationship on the side with somebody else, and his daughter felt as though she didn't matter. So there's all kinds of reasons why these things happen. They've been going on for a long time. People have not been talking about it like they are today. So what matters most here, I think, is not about who's right or wrong, not about who is hurting more. And I thought they should have talked about this more. What is critical is repair if you want it and how to get there. And I think that's what most parents and adult children are looking for out there. One thing that I thought was very interesting, another point in this, is that a estranged mother was talking about how she had repaired a relationship with her daughter and then it severed again over something minor. Now, this rubbed me wrong, and I'm going to tell you why. It's because of the word minor. What may have been minor to the mother may have been major to her daughter. And so we have to do more as a parent to understand that our perspective is not always what our child's perspective is, even when they are adults, and taking that into accountability. What was minor for that mother, again, could have been major for her daughter, and that would be the catalyst for opening up a new conversation about that. And if she's listening to me right now, that is what I would encourage her to do. But did this podcast do good? Yes, it did in a lot of ways. For me, it's a first step in opening up dialogue about something that a lot of people don't understand. And for a lot of parents that are becoming defensive over things that their children are saying to them, defensiveness is not the way through this. In fact, that will push you away. I think it also was a first step in giving adult children a voice here to be heard. And those children that did speak gave specific examples of what is going on in their life as to why they chose this estrangement. Because estrangement does not happen overnight. It never has, and it never will. There are always reasons. Most children do not want to estrange themselves from their parents. So at the end of the day, I'm not interested if this is a trend or not. What I'm interested in is healing and repairing families so that they can come back together in some way, even if it's civil. I hope that we can have more conversations like this. But next time, Oprah, I would suggest to focus more on solutions, not just having parents and children's voices heard. Let me know what you think, everybody. I'm open to hearing your comments.